I'm supposed to be doing something. Grand Rising. I'm supposed to be getting on the bus right now, but might hang around for a little bit. It's quiet. Really quiet. Um, so I was thinking about that house that I just described recently. How my sisters had their room was in the back of the house, on the other side of the house. It was in the back of the house and on the other side of the house. Um, but okay, so when I got pulled over in 2018, it was, and I said my mom had told me I was speeding, right? Um, that warrant stemmed from a ticket for weed possession and a missing front plate. So they had pulled me over for a missing front plate, and then I handed him my little joint worth of weed, and I got a ticket for that. Where they pulled me over at was in front of that house. I drove past that house often, thinking. um, I had to go to my grandma's house. I was supposed to drop something off for my grandma, but the kids fell asleep, and I wasn't about to disrupt that. So she lived nearby, and I just drove around that neighborhood. Um, my childhood friend lived 2 blocks away, so I was driving around the neighborhood, and I came to the four-way stop at the street across from a police officer. And I turned onto Chalice, and then he followed me. That's the name of the street, Chalice. And he stopped me, like he followed me the whole time, but where he stopped, like he couldn't have known that was there, like that was my house or anything like that. He couldn't have known that. That's just where he happened to stop me at. And he asked me why I was there, you know, I was like, oh, it just so happens that this is my childhood house that you pulled me over in front of. And, I like to come here often. Um, so I was thinking on that this morning because it's a weird synchronicity. Then at that time, I definitely didn't know what I was dealing with, you know? So it's just interesting that that's where I ended up getting pulled over at, literally right in front of it. I was standing on that sidewalk as they were searching my car for the drugs they swear I had, and I was like, I handed you, it's a fucking joint, bro. And he let me go. And the ticket for the no license plate was dropped. Actually, the entire thing was dropped. The entire thing was dropped because they no longer made it lawful to pull you over for a missing front license plate. And so then the additional charge with the ticket, it's not a charge, just a ticket. The ticket for the joint was dropped because they couldn't have searched my car. None of that stuff could have happened if they had pulled me over for um, an unlawful offense. So I just thought I'd mention that. I don't know what. Also, there's a dream that I had mentioned about the police, uh, and it was off of that. It was off of there too. It was off that same area. The street was Briarcliff and Livingston, is where the dream took place, and I'm speaking of Shawless, which is you could get there from Briarcliff. You can get there from Haft. Um, and there's another street, but I can't really remember the name of the street, but it doesn't really matter. All I'm saying is, um, that was 2018. So essentially, all of these discoveries kind of started taking place around 2018. It's the first time I ever watched any tarot. It's the first time that I was really ever exposed to anything, and these little clues were getting dropped, but it didn't all make sense then. It does now. You know what I mean? So that's all I had to say because I really got to catch the bus. Have a good day.